I made a video the other day talking about some of the leaked specs that came out, and my thoughts on it. If you guys hadn't seen it yet, I've made a lot of content this week, and if you haven't seen it yet, get your ass to Mars, as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, and get your ass to Mars, right? So this is the link to my video about the specs, and basically, if the Switch 2 is really coming out September 2024, we're going to be hearing all sorts of rumors about this, like leading up for the next while. It's buzzing like big time, and I know some of you guys tend to lean on the side of, oh my god, it's clickbait, it's these guys making all this throwaway clickbait content that's full of crap, and you know, all this stuff, right? Because you get all these Reddit users, these 4chan users that leak all these Nintendo Directs and all these announcements and stuff like that. To me, that's the fun stuff. I know going in that something might not be reliable. It might be something that's just a complete crock of crap when somebody says that they have the knowledge of like some of the specs and stuff. But when we're starting to see stuff like CNBC report it, that's when I'm starting to be like, you know what, this leads a little bit of credibility to the situation. So if you guys weren't aware, there was a recent leak that talked about some of the specs. The main thing that I was liking, because at first I was bummed out from what I heard, there was a rumor saying that the Switch 2 is going to just be an iteration of what we already have, that it was just going to be a small upgrade with like the similar, I guess, features and stuff, the whole, I guess, hybrid portable console model. Nothing substantial. With me, I'm like, man, I want some power, right? I want some good features. I want substantial upgrades, something that wows me, because I want something that, you know, and well, Nintendo doesn't need that. They'd rather just have good games. Yeah, good games is great and dandy, but you think about, like, right now, the Switch is 7 years old, right? And yeah, sure, it still sells good, it has a great library. Nobody's denying that. It's 7 years old. I think a substantial upgrade is needed. Was the Super Nintendo to NES to Super Nintendo? That was a pretty substantial upgrade. Super Nintendo to 64? That was a pretty substantial upgrade. 64 to GameCube? Pretty substantial. GameCube to Wii? Pretty substantial. Wii to Wii U? Yeah, you know, I'd say there was a little bit of a difference at least, right? We started going to like the HD era and stuff, and then, you know, I even think the Wii U and Switch had it. I hope whenever they say it's just going to be an iteration, it's just going to be the basic, you know, idea of just like a portable thing that you can dock. But some specs arrived, and supposedly it's going to have the 120 hertz screen on it, which means we can have games that actually go over 60 frames per second on handheld, which is fucking legit. Like, that got me excited because I was bummed a little bit because they were saying it was not even going to be an OLED screen on the portable. Not that I play portable, but they were saying they were taking away the OLED. It's going to be a regular non-OLED, but now that it's supposedly going to be 120 hertz, I'm all for that. And then also they were going to have a Nvidia T239 processor, which is okay, and extended battery life, which, yeah, you would hope that a extended battery life is something that they add on that. So good on them. But then there was one thing that I was like, oh, fuck, man. Like, what a Nintendo thing to do. Storage. Who here thinks the Switch had crappy storage options? Sure, you could put a micro SD, whatever, but the Switch itself, I think, had like, what, 32 gigabytes of storage without an SD card? I think that's what it was. Well, supposedly the next iteration, the Switch 2, is going to have 64 gigabytes, which is double 64 gigabytes, right? I think that's a bit of like a deal breaker for me. Almost like a deal breaker. Obviously, I'm probably still going to get a Switch 2 no matter what. But goddamn, you know what I mean? Like, 64 gigabytes this day and age. Okay, yeah, oh, Nintendo makes small games. They don't do these big, huge ones. But think about, you know, like, when you have games and apps and stuff, it all adds up. And this day and age, like Tears of the Kingdom, I think was 16 gigabytes of space, which is really impressive for the size of like what Tears of the Kingdom map was. 16 gigabytes when you look at it like compared to games that are like much bigger than that. Witcher 3, I think, was 40 gigabytes. So if you have a Switch 2, you put Witcher 3 and you put Zelda on it, on the console storage, you're using almost all of the 64 gigabytes there for just 2 games. Yeah, those are decent file sizes. They're not games that are like 100 gigabytes. I forgot which one I put in recently. I know Call of Duty games are like 100 gigabytes. But imagine having like just that small amount where you can only fit 1 or 2 games, and then it's like, okay, I'm out of storage space. Yes, you could put a micro SD card. All right, yeah, you can. But I wish they would have a little bit more actual space in the console, like as is vanilla stock this day and age. And to me, that's something that's like, all right, when you're looking at all the other gaming consoles, like, you know, now we have the PS5 Slim. I think that has like, what, 1 terabyte of storage in it? And then the original PS5, I think, had like close to 1 as also, I think maybe like 800 something gigabytes, something like that. And then the Xbox Series X has a terabyte. And then the Series S has 512 gigabytes. So you would at least think the Switch 2 could at least be on par with the Series S, right? And have a 512 gigabytes. Or give us 500, right? Like what the Xbox One had. I don't know. I feel like just like when you're looking at everything, it's I don't know why Nintendo always feels the need to have something that's under, I guess, developed as I like that. And I know, yeah, they still have great games and it's not Nintendo style and all this, but like when does that excuse go away with us fans? Like, why do us Nintendo, because I'm a Nintendo fan too, when are we going to stop making excuses for them saying, oh, it's fine, it's good having a console that's 7 years outdated, and the next one, as soon as the fucking mid-generation consoles for the other two come out, we're going to be back to square one. As soon as the midlife PlayStation 5 Pro and whatever the Series X midlife console comes out, we're going to be back to square one with the Switch 2. And I don't know. So that storage issue seems like something that I feel they could have did a little bit better with.